Yeah, very good evening to you, Francis. We are in Shabalala's household here in Midlands. It's not far from Ndofaya Mall, where that tragedy took place last night. To make things worse, this is a family that buried their loved one just 3 weeks ago. Bulen Shabalala's grandmother died about 3 weeks ago. Shabangu, rather. Sorry, it's Bulen Shabangu's grandmother who actually was buried just 3 weeks ago. Bulen is the one who died just last night at that particular moment when this stampede took place. We are going to talk to an eyewitness who's also a neighbor. He also lost a friend in that stampede. Sizwe,
yes.
Thanks so much for your time. Yes. Can you just talk to us in detail what you saw at Ndofaya Mall?
What I saw there was really tragic, because I went there to check on my wife and also my family. As I saw lifeless bodies lying there, I was called by one of the neighbors by the name of Zanele to say, Sizwe, come, here's Puleng. Then I went there, I saw Puleng was covered in cardbox. I then opened her, I saw that it's Puleng. I was so hurt to lose such a young kid. And then as I was busy with Puleng, I also had my friend's name being called there. Silo. Then I went to check on the body. I opened the body only to find out it was my friend. We tried to bring him back to life by doing CPR, we pumped him. But what happened there is really sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Was he still alive at that point, your friend, when you got there? And when I spoke to you earlier on, you talked about the fact that I think you felt the pulse, you could still feel the pulse?
Yes, because when I reached to him, I touched her in his neck. I felt that he was still warm. That's when we did the CPR. He responded in some sort of a way, but then, I don't know. It's really sad.
And how old was your friend?
He was my age, 27.
He was 27?
Yes.
But did he say anything to you at the time when you were trying to bring him back to life?
No, he never talked. He was breathing like only. He never said anything. That's when I took some of his neighbor to go to, as I took Zanele to come and report to here, to Puleng's home. I also took that sister to go to Silo's house.
At what time of the night was it?
Maybe it was round about 9. Yeah, I think it was around about 9.
Yeah. All right, let's bring in Puleng's grandfather here. With all due respect and the sensitivity this story deserves, you buried your loved one 3 weeks ago. Today, you've lost a daughter, 15-year-old Puleng. Jale ka lelapa le copa Jean.
Hey, how monate. Ho hlokafalla ke batho ba babedi ka nakonyana e khutswana. Ho hloko ha ke tsele hore nkare ya ke itse ha ke utlwa story se sa hore ha sa le teng. I didn't know what to say. It was difficult. le gona no ke ntse ke ipotsa potso gore e ka ba e le gore re sentseng ha o tlo utlwa ho thoa ngwana ha a sa le teng o tseba gore ngwana yo we in this safe hands the next thing utlwa ba re ngwana ha a sa le teng yeo e bohloko ho feta ka ho fela dintho tse ke ileng ka kopana le tsona bophelong ba ka hona no ke ipotsa potso gore o tswile jwang ka mohara ha ntlo o tsamaile jwang ho ya kwa o tsamaile le mang ke ntho ya pele e ileng ya nkgathatsa hore ho etsahetse jwang ha se ba bangata ba ba ka emelang ntho ya mafuto hona le dintho tse re di emelang mara yona e thatanyana ke kgone hore enka ba ba mmoneng a etswa ha ke re ke a botsa hore o tswile ka nako mang a ba ka ba mpolela le nako o tlile fela ba setse ba re o ile ke story nyana se ke na leng sona ya lebo.
Very difficult here in this household. Francis, we're just gonna give him that space just a little bit. It's difficult to come to terms with that loss. He actually saying that he is not sure how bullying got out of this house last night. He says that they were sitting here with the family watching TV, and that's the story he told me before we went on air. And he says that how she got out of this house, that they still trying to understand, because it was at night, and the only message that they got at that time was that bullying was no more. They buried bullying's grandmother 3 weeks ago. They are now arranging funeral proceedings for bullying, and that's just makes it difficult for this family to actually come to terms with this loss. Just meters away, it's not far, that's where this incident happened, the stampede, where, as you mentioned in that intro, 10 people losing their lives, among them bullying. And yes, we try to speak to other families, but it's very difficult to actually talk to us. They have actually spoken to us off record, saying that this should have been avoided. We shouldn't be here. Families shouldn't be grieving. So at this stage, the situation is still calm, but a bit tense, as people are still trying to get what they can at that mall, which we left just a couple of minutes ago. But we will actually be monitoring the situation here in Midlands and around Soweto. Francis.
Maageketla, I mean, there are hardly words. So this is a 15-year-old, a teenager, her whole life ahead of her. You saying that people are still in the mall tonight, still taking goods just meters away from where you are?
Absolutely. That's what we saw, Francis. And the worst part is that from what we heard from eyewitnesses, especially Caesar, he says that even when those bodies were lying at that mall, the looting still continued. People didn't care that there were bodies lying just at the entrance of that shop, right where they were looting. They were jumping bodies to actually get to the items and then continue looting on that night. And I think this also talks to the issue of capacity of police. It's just next to police station, the Midlands police station, but still the looting continued last night. It's still continuing as I'm talking to you.
My word, thank you very much, SABC News reporter Maageketla Mohlabe, and thank you for those, the family member and the eyewitness who spoke to us.